Looking back on the technology-related investments you were making 5 years ago, what did you get right and what did you do wrong?
Well, I think the things that we got right were a number. I mean, I think we hired a lot of the right people to lead us. And that was an investment. We didn't really know a lot about ultimately where we're going to end up, but I think we hired the right people. Second, I thought we put a lot of our efforts over the last 5 years really into the front end system. I mean, we looked at our website in '04 and concluded that it was a website about UDR, the stock, but it wasn't focused on our customer. And so what we did was we really said, wait a minute, we want to have a site, when you go to Sony, for example, it's about Sony products. It's about how to buy a Sony product. We wanted to move our site to that level. And I think we continue to work towards that. But I think that was a big change in mindset. And the second was the recognition of call centers. That we had tried one 5 years earlier that failed miserably at that, but recognizing that we were missing a lot of what our customer was trying to communicate because the simple thing, just answering the damn phone. We didn't do it. I think what did we not get right? We tried to make technology the solution instead of the enabler. That often you buy it off the shelf, it's like Windows or anything else, you say, well, here it is, use it. And we didn't integrate it very well. We didn't educate our workforce very well. We probably lost a lot of people in that time frame. So, and I think we waited too long at times. We were more of, well, let everybody test it out. You got to throw some of this stuff out on the wall and say, hell, it works or it doesn't. We're going to make mistakes. Keep moving forward.
Ed?
Similar vein, we did a number of things right, but a couple of things not quite so right. I think on the right side, there's 3 or 4 that were really proved to be key. Early on, 2001, we were making decisions about going to a core operating system and made that radical move to say we wanted something that was fully integrated and we wanted an ASP. So going to the ASP model in 2001 took a bit of a leap of faith, but it proved to be the right call. And not customizing, so we went with the Yardi package, and that proved to be the right call for us. And I think what we did well is we project management that thing to death. We did a terrific job with the project management on that. I've been through 3 systems conversion in my life. 2 of them were miserable. I was due for a change in luck, and I got it with the 3rd one. But what we did right is we didn't customize the front end of it. We used Hyperion. So we brought in Hyperion, which is an Uber database manager that we use for budget forecasting, planning, building a web-based pricing model. That proved to be a really very good call on our part. And then, as Tom was saying, in '02, we went with Level 1 to form a call center to handle leasing, to pull the calls off the properties. And at the time, you know, it was like a coin flip whether or not we thought that was going to be the right way to go. And it just turned out to be terrific. And we later on added the maintenance side to it. And that's been a terrific call. And then the 4th one was outsourcing our network, or as I like to call, the plumbing. You know, we're based in San Francisco. If you're running your own network, we have network engineers that have to be Cisco certified. And because you're in San Francisco, that means every 6 months you're being held up for compensation. You know, so that we outsourced the plumbing, and what that allowed us to do was transfer our IT department from network-based engineer support to business application support, in-house consultants, and that was the right call.
Well, I think where we got it right was we invested in people like Tom in our company, but we also invested in companies, our capital, alongside with them, and we provided sweat equity with those companies. And the idea of that was we didn't want to go out and say, okay, give us the software and you tell us what it looks like. We knew what we wanted, and so we had to help the providers understand what we and the industry really needed. I mean, during those sort of early days of you know, every wild and crazy idea that came out of the tech business in the late '90s and early 2000s, you know, everybody, you know, was going to put a whiz-bang device on a maintenance guy and be able to create all this cost savings, and no one could ever figure out how that would work. So we spent a lot of time, effort, and our own capital investing in the companies that are here today that are world-class platforms, and a lot of people in this room who spent a lot of time walking through and working out every little detail with those companies. I think we did that very well. We picked best in class and then helped those companies continue to be best in class, and they're evolving over time, and I think that's where we really did it right.